So there I am, making videos, and then I asked myself this question. Can you beat Hollow Knight without leaving the Hive? And then I realized that's a dumb question because you literally can't. You need the Dreamers, Dream Nail, and Mantis Claw, and we can't get that because you have to leave the Hive to get them. But then I asked myself another question. How much can you actually do in the Hive if you were to have like a limited amount of items? So that is what I'm going to be testing out today. Hi, how you doing? It's me, DarkFlameWeaver, and today we're going to find out how much content there is to be had in the Hive. But since we don't want a 30-second view, I was going to need some supplies. So here's what I did. I started a new game, skipped the cutscenes, and as soon as I got control of my character, I warped to this bench in Green Path, and made my way to the Hunter, making sure not to destroy any enemies on the way. It's very important. Next, I warped to the King's Station, right here, and went into this room. Here, I used a no-clip to go carefully under the map, not to trigger the bellflies, because we won't want that. And I went to Camp's Edge, gave myself Geo with debug, bought the map from Glenmore, warped back to Durham, activated every skill temporarily, went into the map shop, bought the quill, the benchman, and this marker since it's cool. Then I turned off every skill, then turned on Mantis Claw and Awoken Dream Nail. Then I realized I could have just not turned off Mantis Claw Dream Nail. Oops. Then I warped to Lurcham, which is currently a deepest right here. Pressed the right button twice until I was in Kingdom's Edge. Jumped onto these things and died twice, so I would lose the geo I gave myself with debug. Once I got my shape back, I broke this wall, and finally I could start the challenge. Until I realized I needed to turn off debug and bench warp, so I went all the way back, sat the tram, quit the game, turned off the mods, reopened the game, went back to the Hive, and now I can actually start the challenge. So now that I've made it into the Hive, I can no longer leave. And to prevent any confusion, let me explain what I count as leaving. You see, there are 3 exits to the Hive, but we ignore this one since this room is cut off from the rest of the Hive and doesn't really matter. These are the only 2 exits that matter. I'm allowing myself to go through these transitions, but I have to stay in the area that shows honeycomb or like the outside of the Hive. So basically, if I stand here, I am okay, but if I stand here, I fail the challenge. Now, you're probably wondering, what's he going to do in this video? I mean, he only has mapping supplies, Mantis Claw, Awoken Dream Nail. He has no essence, or geo, or no spells, no charms, and no other form of movement besides wall jump. Well, you see, when I decided to make this video, I had 5 goals I wanted to complete. The first one is fairly obvious. Beat Hive Knight and get Hive Blood. The second goal was to get the Mask Shard in the Hive, which also unlocks a shortcut, making the first goal, beat Hive Knight, a lot easier. The third goal, and might be the most annoying, is to get the Hunter's notes on every enemy in the Hive, which is 4. The Small Bees, the Hive Soldiers, the Hive Guardians, and then these guys. And also Hive Knight, but you know, he's not going to be too bad. You only need to defeat him once. Goal number 4 was to map out the entire Hive, except for this area right here, because we literally cannot enter this area without leaving or using debug, which I'm not allowed to do. And then goal number 5 was to complete the Dream Tree in the Hive, which might be the most annoying, but it's probably will be like the second most annoying. But now that I have the goals laid out for the video, I need to actually enter the Hive, truly enter the Hive, because like we're basically in the lobby. Like this is like the entrance area. We're not like in the main section of the Hive. Normally, you would need wings in order to enter the main part of the Hive, but then I remembered, with the first time I played Hollow Knight, I actually managed to pull off a secret break where I pogoed off a bee up to the platform in order to access the rest of the Hive. I call this bee wings skip. Not official, but if you want to call it that, I would not mind. After that, it's just down and a left to make it to the bench, so that's what I did. I entered the Hive, ignored all the enemies on the way. I grabbed this Geo Rock, and then used this guy to spawn a bunch of bees, and then I used them to poke up to the thing. I totally did that first try, and that 100% did not take me 30 minutes to pull off. After that, I went left, then got this Georock, defeated a Hive Soldier, broke the bench free from the honey, and then rested, locking myself into the Hive. After taking a minute to prepare for what's about to happen next, I proceeded onward. From this point onward, I destroyed almost every Hive enemy I could find. While fighting to look cool while trying to pogo on this guy, I got the Hunter's Notes for the Hiveling. And once I finally defeated this guy, I decided I would attempt the Dream Tree. After a few errors, I did it, completing our first goal of this video. And instead of being the second most annoying goal, it was actually probably the easiest out of the 5 goals. Then I finished a section of this room. The next part is probably by far the most annoying part in the Hive. Because, you see, I have done the Hive without wings before, but I had dash and C-dash, which made it a lot easier. And without that, and only claw, this massive room, this part, so annoyingly difficult, it actually took me around an hour to complete. So the first thing I did was I went left and opened the shortcut to the outer world that we will never see again in this video, and then went back. I defeated the 2 Hive Guardians, left the room to get the broken platforms back, and then I died to a Hive soldier. When I returned, I re-defeated the Hive Guardians, got my shade, and spent like 30 minutes trying to get up. Then I remembered what I did last time and left the room to respawn the platforms. So yeah, I basically spent like 30 minutes for nothing. Oops. Once the platforms were back, the room was not as bad. It still was annoying, but it wasn't as bad. The next room was actually probably it could have been worse, to be honest. I kept leaving and re-entering, defeating like 1 enemy at a time, and it took me a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. I also managed to get the hunter's notes on the Hive soldier. After that, I went up and went left and got the Geo Rocks. Decided to take a look at the isolated cell that we will never be able to map out or enter in this video because it's against the rules, basically. After I went to the right, I almost died to a bunch of Hive soldiers, but somehow managed to survive. The Hive Guardian, I guess, broke the wall when I was not looking, and I grabbed the mask shard, completing another goal of the video. Then, I opened up the shortcut and went back to the bench, saved so I would not have to deal with the nonsense that was some of those rooms. After resting, I go grab Hunter's Notes on the Husk Hive, then go to this room and pull off the most annoying bee wing skip in the entire Hive, and make it to Hive Night. And guess what? I beat him first try. Don't believe me? Watch. Now that was probably my greatest achievement. First try, no charm, no spell, only claw, base nail, Hive Knight. Then I died to the spikes trying to get Hive Blood because I suck at platforming. But since I was put back at the bench, my map was finished, completing another goal of the video. And while trying to get back, the dumbest thing happened. I died 4 times to the Husk Hive. The Husk Hive. If it was Hive Guardian, that'd be understandable, because this guy does double damage. But this guy, the Husk Hive, what the heck? That is actual nonsense. I literally did Hive Knight, no charm, no spell, base nail, only claw, with no health or soul upgrades, first try, and then I died to these dudes 4 times. Man, my greatest achievements and worst failures are happening in the same video. On my way back, I get the Hunter's Notes on the Hive Guardian, leaving 1 goal left. When I finally do the annoying Beast Wing Skip again, I have a chat with Vespa. Did the platforming, didn't die this time, grabbed Hive Blood, and finally completed this challenge. Now, there are other things in the Hive, like this grub here, that is not possible with Claw. Trust me, if I could see this being even close to possible, I would at least try to do it. There's also a grub in the room cut off from the rest of the Hive, but that requires me to leave the Hive and enter from a different entrance, and that's kind of against the rules, so yeah. But yeah, I have shown all the content that is possible in the Hive with the limited items I had. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and if you want to see more of my content, please subscribe. This video took a long time to edit and took even longer to pull off some of these skips. But yeah, I hope the video was entertaining, and I'll see you all next time.